Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This morning from All City Stadium in Denver. It's another league clash as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Northfield Nighthawks. Along with the Hall of Famers Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm Sean Beltran. Gentlemen, this should be a really solid game today, considering now we do have some personnel issues on both sides, but the records are similar. There's been similar scores with competition, not necessarily Holy Family, because Fort Morgan played a really good game last week, even though they lost that game 35-13. But we know that on the Fort Morgan side, Brian, we're going to see a little bit different personnel, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be, talked to Josh Langford earlier, and he said they're going to be starting like 6 sophomores and 2 freshmen on the offensive side. So it's going to be kind of a look into the future here, I think, of what Mustang football is going to be. But it should be a pretty evenly matched game, I believe.
And let's see, Kevin, if Fort Morgan comes out strong here in the opening quarter, because they did not do last week at Holy Family. They were constantly behind. It took them a while until they got into the rhythm of that game.
Right. I think the key for Fort Morgan's game is going to be playing a perfect game. They're not going to be able to afford mistakes against this team to be able to win it. Last week they couldn't afford the mistakes to stay in it and stay close. This one to even be able to, to win it. I think they can stay close. But
opening kickoff brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Visit Buildings by Design and check them out, buildingsbydesign.com. Brandon Marquez is back this week, so he will kick it off for the Mustangs. Northfield in their navy blue uniforms. And that's a high end-over-end kick. It'll bounce at the 15-yard line and picked up right there. And straight ahead to the 20, and a seam across the 25 to the 26 as the Mustangs goes tumbling to the floor. That is Ryan Manning with the return, and he's one of the more prolific players on this team. The quarterback is Christian Love. He's been banged up this season, but he was out there and ready to execute this offense for Northfield. David Keller not in the lineup today, Brian, so that's a big hole to fill on both sides of the football.
Yeah, that's for sure. So the defense is going to have to pick up on that.
1st and 10 for the 26. There's the pitch right, swinging it to the outside. That is Richardson with room along the sideline at the 50-yard line in Fort Morgan territory and knocked out of bounds, and that was too easy. They sealed off the perimeter, and Richardson had room to run all the way down to the 39-yard line, a gain of 35 just off the bat. And a first down for Northfield.
Yeah, he really didn't get any contact or had to make any moves still. He was 10, 15 yards down the field.
And again, that wasn't a fancy play whatsoever. 1st and 10 on the shotgun. There's the pitch left, and the ball is loose in the backfield. That is picked up, but that's going to be a loss as Cameron Joyce Fairley goes down at the 45-yard line. A loss of 6. It looked like a fairly decent pitch, but didn't field it cleanly. And then right there was Charlie Langford to make the play for the Mustangs to make sure that if Fairley was able to go forward, he was not going to do so.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. During warm-ups, they didn't do any of those plays where they pitch it and must just want to try and get it out a little bit faster. Anytime you pitch it, you have that possibility of mishandling the ball.
Out of the gun, 2nd down and 16. Joyce Fairley in motion. There's the handoff for the inside handoff and a big hole up the middle and a first down. Across the left side of the 29-yard line, and that is Marcus Wiley for a gain of 17 yards, and they're having no problem running the football so far.
No, they're being dominated on that defensive line right now, and I think Josh Langford will work on that and get that tightened up later on.
Again, this is what happened last week, a slow start defensively. One running back to the right from the gun. Joyce Fairley is in motion. The handoff to Joyce Fairley. He's got a seam along the right side of the 25. A gain of 3 before he's brought down right there. And again, Langford. And that time, looks like Yanez also in on the play. 2nd down and 7. That's already 3 different ball carriers for Northfield. From the 25, quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Joyce Fairley in motion. Handoff right up the gut and nothing doing. Connor Reese on the carry there, a junior at 6'2", 190. But the Mustangs were there to bottle him up in the middle.
Yeah, Northfield running an offense that just depends on misdirection. A lot of people going in different directions, and Fort Morgan's got to play assignment football and read their keys.
3rd down and about 6 to go, just inside the 25. Same formation, pitch right to Joyce Fairley, has a blocker, and he's to the 20-yard line. Then he tries to back towards the first down marker. He's going to be short. Then he's driven back at about the 30-yard line. 2 or 3 Mustangs around the football. And again, Charlie Langford, we're going to be calling his name a lot on both sides. The gain is to the 21, but it'll be 4th down and about 3.
Well, that's something I haven't seen before. The down markers actually have a little sign that tell the fans how far it is to first down.
They'll go for it. 4th down and a short 3 for the 21. The opening 2.5 minutes of this game. Looking at his wristband as the quarterback. Lob, and there's the handoff up the middle. First down to the 10 to Marcus Wiley, and he's down right there. A gain of 11. That's a touchdown saving tackle. Looked like Langford made the play. 1st and goal for Northfield.
Yeah, they're getting dominated right now on that defensive line.
At the 10, there's the pitch right to Joyce Fairley. Swings it to the outside, and the Mustangs are going to wrap him up at the line of scrimmage. Way too much penetration along that right sideline. About 3 or 4 Mustangs right there to make the play. And again, they're starting some young players, so we expect Fort Morgan to get better as the game wears along and they familiarize themselves with this Northfield offense.
Yeah, a lot of young kids out there.
2nd down and goal for the 10. We played 3.5 minutes. Here's Love with the inside handoff right up the middle. That's Richardson. He's got maybe half a yard. Tremendous penetration there, including Jackson Wiedrick and Chase Redding.
I think that was Manning that ran at that time.
Yep. Oh, was Manning?
Yeah.
Okay. They got a lot of different ball carriers. 3rd and goal for the 9. There's the direct snap. There's the pitch left to the 5-yard line. End zone touchdown. Easy for Richardson along the left side. 9 yards away for Richardson. Only his 2nd carry of the game. The first one went for 35 yards. And 4 minutes and 50 seconds in, Northfield is on the board. Now the extra point to be attempted.
And Fort Morgan will have to start looking to make adjustments, but they can just, from that formation, do motion and run in several different directions.
Well, the extra point is Alex Gerson. Snap a little bit high. The kick is up, and that one is inside the left upright. It's good. 7:50 to go in the opening quarter. Northfield 7, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Pretty impressive drive there as they went down the field and scored on the 10th play of the drive, a 9-yard run by Amyron Richardson. A 74-yard drive for Northfield. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. Let's see if the Mustangs can counter as Gerson will kick it off. Charlie Langford and Kayshawn Johnson back to receive. This is an onside kick. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by a Mustang, and Chase Redding along the sideline to the 46. He goes out of bounds. But Kevin, Northfield had a shot.
Oh, wow, they had a couple shots, and that really caught Fort Morgan by surprise.
Yeah, they overran it. Actually, the kid went by it when it finally came across the 50.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 48. Trailing already 7-0. The quarterback, of course, is J.J. Marquez, only a freshman. Out of the pistol formation, Marquez will hand it off, and a big loss there. Only about a yard and a half on the loss, but swallowed up is Noah Aguirre. Or no, that is Fritzler. I thought it saw 4-1. It's 4-0. That's Fritzler for the loss of 1. Yeah. 2nd down and 11. Kevin?
Yeah, it was like the offensive line just whiffed on their blocks. They were all downfield, and the defensive line was in the backfield.
On 2nd down and 11 for the 47. Marquez to throw towards the sideline. Complete at the 44-yard line. Johnson's got it, gets to the 43. It's a gain of 10. It'll set up a third down at about 2. It's a nice-looking pass. Just a simple pass pattern there. But now the Mustangs have to convert, and they nearly jumped on the other side. And now we've got a whistle. That's not going to count. That play's not going to count. Fritzer was thrown down at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I think it was encroachment. Yeah, it was clear encroachment.
Yep.
I think the flag just came in late.
The side judge on the far side was indicating encroachment on Northfield.
So the Mustangs have the football at the 34-yard line. First and 10, trailing 7-0 at the 39. A 74-yard drive by Northfield. Noah Aguirre is lining up on the inside slot. Johnson, the receiver, to the right and 2 to the left. Pistol formation for J.J. Marquez. Has the football. Play action, looking to throw. Plenty of protection. Now he's getting pressured, flushed out to his left. He'll roll along the sideline to the 45, and then he will be ushered out of bounds. A hard hit along the sideline into the Fort Morgan bench at about the 38. He might have picked up a yard. But that was a long time. He had plenty of protection, but nobody got open.
Yeah, he had one guy just barely coming open as he had to turn and run.
Second down and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 39-yard line of Northfield. Opening drive of the game, 6:19 to go here on a gorgeous day from Denver. Game time temp. Had to be in the 50s. Awaiting the snap. Out of the pistol, Aguirre. Realigning to the right. Marquez will hand it off to Fritzer. Big hole up the middle, and he crashes into a defender at the 40 for a gain of 4. Third down and 6 to go for Fort Morgan. And they're going to give him the 34-yard line. Give him 5, 54 degrees at kickoff.
Yep,
quickly up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and 5, the Mustangs looking over to the sideline for play instructions. Receivers split left and right. Again, Fritzer, the lone setback, more in a modified shotgun now on 3rd and 5. Marquez to throw. Lofts it deep up the right side. Nobody's out there.
Nope.
I don't know if the pattern was run incorrectly, but that was miscommunication big time. And it's 4th and 5. The Mustangs, more than likely, from the 34 of Northfield, are going to be going for it. But again, why go for that deep of a pattern on a 3rd and short?
Yeah, I don't know. And he was headed. Angel Lopez was on this side. I don't believe he's quite 100%, but he was the receiver on this side that went about 10 yards and cut it in.
On 4th and 5 for the 34. Pistol, Marquez, play action. Flushed out to his right, gets a block, throws underneath. Complete to Aguirre. A first down as he's knocked down to the 26, a gain of 8. And the drive continues for Fort Morgan. And the pass was a little bit high, but Aguirre is a tremendous athlete. And he brought that one down quickly up to the line of scrimmage at the 26.
That was a really good conceived play. They rolled him out and had a blocker come and block the backside pursuit and gave him time to throw that ball.
Yeah, and again, they tossed it underneath. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Want to give a shout-out to my buddy Alex Rodriguez, not the baseball player. He's more famous than him. He's toiling through a tough University of Miami season, watching the Canes and Virginia Cavaliers right now. Good buddy of mine for 40-some-odd years. Marquez to throw. Pumps. Rolls out to his right. He's going to be sacked back at the 32-yard line. Taken down from behind. That was a big defensive end there in Mark Cox, 6'2", 210.
And Angel Lopez got behind the defense, and he was wide open on the other side, but Marquez didn't have a chance to look for him.
Second down and 16 from the Northfield 32. 4:38 to go in the opening quarter. Northfield 7, Fort Morgan nothing on a 9-yard touchdown run by Richardson on the opening drive of the game. Lining up on the short side of the field off to the right. And again, it's a very much Vanderbilt style. I know there's a few schools who do this. They get up to the line of scrimmage, the signals come in for the coaches. On 2nd down, Marquez, 2-step drop, pumps over the middle. The pass is broken up. It was knocked down at about the 26 prior to getting to the intended receiver. And it looked like Jack Easterly, a 6'2", 215-pound junior middle linebacker, made the play. 3rd and 16 for Fort Morgan.
Fort Morgan was lucky that he wasn't able to pick that off because that was right to him.
At the 32, they've got to get to the 16. But again, maybe set up a screen or something short. That pattern wasn't run too deep. Trips to the left. On 3rd and 16, Marquez with a naked backfield. Back to throw, pressure up the middle, and that screen pass is intercepted. He threw it right into the defender, but there was no spacing there. That was intercepted easily by Evan Roberts, a junior. First turnover by either side, and Northfield has the ball at their own 35.
Yeah, that was just, they had the right idea, but when you look and you see a defender between you and the running back, you got to throw it into the ground. Hopefully that doesn't affect his confidence, because we saw earlier in the season when he throws interceptions, he tends to be a little more tentative the rest of the game.
Well, you threw that in traffic. I thought with a screen pass they might try to isolate the intended receiver. I'm not even sure who he was throwing to. That's how traffic-ridden it was.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Christian Love on the counter running left, and a small hole that opens up a little bit there for Richardson for a gain of about 6 to the 41. 2nd down and 4. Richardson now with 3 carries for an even 50 yards.
Yeah, they're still getting beat on that defensive line, and they're running about anywhere they want to.
At the 42, receivers to the right, man in motion to the right, and there is the pitch right. That is Mike Doss, swings it to the outside. He's got a first down. He just rumbles into a Mustang defender, Gabriel Bosworth, who made the play, but it's a gain of 9. I mean, how many different guys do they have carrying the ball?
Yeah, it's a pretty potent offense, looks like. And their offensive line's all running around 220 to 240 pounds.
6 different ball carriers. We played 8.5 minutes. From the gun, inside handoff and a hole across the 50 and spun to the 45. The ball is loose, and the Mustangs have it unless he was down. I think they're going to give it to Fort Morgan. I don't think he was down, but now the officials will converge, and Fort Morgan's going to have the football. Now that conversation's going to be extended.
I know the ref on this side threw his little beanbag out there, indicate a fumble.
Bosworth recovered the ball, but now who's going to have the football? Do we have a signal yet?
No.
There's a Northfield players down. It was fumbled there by Connor Reese.
I think they've decided to give it back to Northfield, and that's kind of what I saw. I saw him down, and as he was falling, Of course, they don't have replay in high school, but
showing 2nd down on the other side. So.
Yeah, it's not a bad call. I mean,
No.
I know I just said that I think but you never know when the ball is dislodged.
that's right.
I mean, they let him play through, but there's a man down for Northfield at the 48-yard line. That looks like the tight end, whose number we don't have on this roster.
Right.
7-0 Northfield. That's a big tight end, too.
Yeah, it is.
A huge tight end. So it looks like they will retain possession. That's a little bit of a break because initially it was signaled to Fort Morgan.
Right.
But they're back on defense. 2nd and 4 for the Mustang 45. A 9-yard touchdown run by Richardson. Accounted for the only score, but Northfield is driving again after Fort Morgan had a turnover on an interception thrown by J.J. Marquez. At the 45. Little double wing there. Man in motion to the left. Love will pitch it left, and there's going to be a motion penalty. That's a motion penalty on Richardson. And Fort Morgan needs any break they can get right now because clearly they can't hold up with this team at the line of scrimmage, Brian.
No, they're getting beaten. There may be a lot of sophomores up there on that defensive line right now, so it's a learning experience for them, that's for sure.
2nd down and 9 at midfield. Clock reads 3 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And I'm not sure why the clock is stopped because there was no timeout that I know of, just an injury timeout. Again in motion, inside handoff up the middle and driven back as Richardson. Oh, the Mustangs were there, bulldozing their way into the backfield. Aguirre and Redding and Colin Duckworth. 3rd and 9. That's the first really negative carry that Richardson has had as he checks out of the game.
Yeah, that was a good stick in there. That was an excellent tackle.
Well, it's a good form tackle. You drive the running back. On 3rd and 9, Love rolls out to his right, still rolling. Plenty of protection. Now he's getting pressured along the sideline, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds. He's able to pick up some yardage, though, short of a first down. Got to the 46, a gain of 4, and Northfield faces a 4th down and 5. First carry for Love. That's still crazy. 7 different ball carriers, and we haven't even played a quarter yet.
Right.
Big play for the Mustang defense. 4th and 5 for Northfield. At the 46, you need some momentum. They drove it down the field on the first drive. Mustangs committed a turnover. Can the defense come up with a stop? Man in motion. There's the pitch left and hit in the backfield for a huge loss of 7 yards. And thrown down there was Marcus Wiley.
Jackson Weidrich in there on that hit.
Oh, a tremendous play there by Weidrich. And keep in mind, Wiley had carries of 18 and 11 yards, but that time there was nothing to the outside. And there's no doubt, there's no way that anybody even touched Weidrich. He had to come through unblocked.
That's right. That was a great defensive play. It looked like they knew where it was going.
1st and 10 at the Northfield 48-yard line. Ben Fritzler is the lone setback. Awaiting the snap is Marquez. Hands it off to Fritzler, and he's going to drive back towards the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Way too much penetration. Jack Easterly was the first one in on the hit. 2nd down and 10. Fritzler has 3 carries now for just 4 yards. And that's going to be the story. Fort Morgan's really not going to be able to run the ball too effectively. They're just going to need a big play to kind of get that running game going just a little bit, but certainly not on a consistent basis. 2nd and 10 for the 48. Again from the pistol formation. 2 receivers to the left. Marquez is going to roll that way. Pressure's coming from the right side. Now he's going to throw off his back foot towards the sideline. Incomplete. Nobody's there, but it will not be grounding. He's out of the pocket. 3rd and 10 to go for Fort Morgan. Marquez off to a rough start. Not by every fault of his own. 2 out of 6 for 18 yards and a pick.
Yeah, I think they need to look at getting some timing patterns where he throws the ball like quickly, like right as they make their break on a slant or something, because he's got to hold the ball very long. It's not going to work.
Yeah, he didn't have any time there at all.
On 3rd down and 10, especially if pressure is coming up the middle. Naked backfield. Aguirre resets. Deep drop for Marquez. He'll toss it up the middle. It's knocked down. That little slant towards Redding was broken up. Broken up by Easterly, who's been all over the field. 4th down and 10. The Mustangs will punt.
Yeah, anytime he's throwing it over the middle, I mean, it's just congested in there. I'm surprised it hasn't been picked off again.
Well, again, even the screen pass was thrown over the middle, so they're going to have to change configurations a bit here and explore the outside of the field, the perimeter. Redding to punt. Back deep to receive. It looks like that is going to be Richardson. And that's an end-over-end, slightly fluttering punt. Bounces at the 11. He'll pick it up at the 7-yard line. Breaks out of a tackle, then snaps out of another one. Got the left sideline to the 20. The Mustangs are not there at the 40 with 1 to beat. And then he's going to be taken out of bounds by Chase Redding. But that should have been a return of maybe 1 or 2 yards.
Yep.
And he went for 48 yards into Mustang territory. Not good special teams by the Mustangs.
Well, that was just an exceptional run by him. He started right and then reversed field, and Fort Morgan, you're right, didn't stay home on that left side and allowed him to get 40 yards, 50 yards.
Well, all he did was sidestep defenders. 2 or 3 defenders, and once you sidestep those guys and there's nobody on the back end, you've got some daylight. Northfield with a 1st and 10 at the 45. 1:29 to go in the opening quarter from All City Stadium in Denver. And it's 7-0 Northfield. In motion is Joyce Fairley. Handoff up the middle. There's a big hole up first down across the 35 to the 33, maybe the 32. That is Ryan Manning on that quick hitter.
Yeah, they're just being manhandled up front.
Well, they need a turnover from the 32. This is a give to Manning again off right tackle. And he's got 7 yards to the 25. Play was made over there by Jackson Wiedrich, but not before 7 yards. He's got 3 carries for 21 in the game. Second down, they'll call it a long 2 from the 25. Shotgun formation, Joyce Fairley in motion. There's a counter, running left is Richardson. First down to the 14. Man, they have no trouble, as Brian's been talking about before the play was made. It's a gain of 11.
They're not also, their tackling is not very good. They're not wrapping him up at all.
61 yards on 5 carries for Richardson. At the 14-yard line. High snap, handoff, right side, Joyce Fairley to the 5. He's going to score easily. Off to the right side and then found the end zone. 14 yards away for Cameron Joyce Fairley. And Northfield has extended the lead. It's 13-0.
They're just running anywhere they want to and through anybody.
But it was a short field that created this drive, only a 45-yard drive.
Right.
Alex Gerson to attempt the extra point. Awaiting the snap. Perfect snap. The kick is up. And that's good. 27 seconds to go, first quarter. Northfield 14, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 14-yard touchdown run by Cameron Joyce Fairley in Northfield with a 14-0 lead in the waning seconds here of the opening quarter from All City Stadium in Denver. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. As Northfield went into the game with a 4-4 record, the Mustangs at 3-5. And any chance of a 500 season, even though they have Lutheran to go, which is the number 4 team in the RPI, would be washed away with a loss here. And Gerson to kick it off. I doubt it'll be the onside this time that they attempted the last time, which gave Fort Morgan outstanding field position. This will be a little pooch, and now must have been offsides against Northfield, so they'll kick it off in the 35 instead.
Fort Morgan needs to find some way to get a little bit of the momentum back, because right now the Northfield sideline is all high fives and feeling great, and Fort Morgan's kind of questioning themselves.
Kevin, I think the only way you're going to get the momentum back is to establish a running game. It doesn't have to be a consistent running game, but at least break off a 7 to 10 yard carry to loosen it up, and Marquez then would have a little bit more success through the air.
Right. I think that would help.
Because defensively, I don't think they're going to be able to build momentum there. I don't think it's going to happen on that end.
They got to have some sustained drives, keep it away from Northfield.
So Gerson from the 35, you could easily start this drive at your own 30. Easily. Get a decent return. Oh, how about no? That is boomed into the end zone. That was a 67-yard boom, 2 yards deep.
Yeah, apparently they were just wanting to tackle somebody, because if he kicked that off from the 35, he could have put him into the end zone before, and before he's just pooching him. So maybe they're needing some tackling practice or something, so he's been kicking them short.
Well, you can simulate offense and defense. In practice, you really can't simulate special teams. So at least not the way you do in a game. 1st and 10 for the 20-yard line. Northfield with a 2-touchdown lead. The Mustangs have committed the game's only turnover. They have 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun, check it, pistol formation. Man in motion to the left is Lopez, has it on the jet sweep, looking for a block. He's going to be taken down for a loss. He's got to cut that into the inside, even if there's nothing there. Instead of a loss of 3 or 4 yards, might be a loss of 1 or 2. And that's going to be the end of the opening quarter with the score. Northfield 14, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 14-0 Northfield as we head to the second quarter. The Mustangs already in a hole at their own 18-yard line. Second down and 18 to go, or 12 to go for the 18. And again, the running game is not there. They've tried running up the middle. They've tried the jet sweep moments ago. They've tried a screen pass. They've tried slants. They did throw one out towards the sideline that was caught by Johnson. One of two completions by Marquez. Man in motion to the left. Marquez is going to roll out to his right. Pressure coming. A jump throw is going to be caught underneath of the 21 and riding defenders to the 26. Let's see who that is. It's Johnson with. No, that's not Johnson.
No,
that's Wiedrich.
Yep.
That's not Johnson. No way. No, that's Wiedrich. It's a gain of 9. I was listening to the PA, but Johnson does have a reception. It just didn't happen there. 3rd down and 3 to go from the 27. That's a heck of a pass by Marquez, a little jump pass, as he's been under duress. On 3rd and 3, 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. 1 setback, that's Fritzler. And Marquez with a keeper up the middle, 1st down. And he's tackled right at the 31, just beyond the 30-yard line. That's a good fake there to Fritzler for Marquez to be able to generate some room and some yardage.
Yeah, during the pregame, they had Fritzler running out of the Wildcat. You know, if they can't get much running, they might want to go to something like that because they get an extra blocker and might be able to get something going.
On 1st down and 10, just beyond the 30-yard line. But Brian hit the nail on the head. You need a sustained drive, even if you don't score, just something.
Yeah.
Something like against Holy Family. They had sustained drives. And there's the handoff up the middle and a nice gain to the 35. That is Ben Fritzler for a gain of 5 yards, a little bit more than 4.5, 5, 2nd down and 5. But that started with a fake on the jet sweep, then the handoff. Yeah. And that type of deception loosened up the defense.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need to. I don't know if I don't think reverses would work because I think the defense is too far in the backfield for that to work.
Right. 10:08 to go, 2nd quarter. Fort Morgan trails Northfield in Denver, 14-0. Direct snap to Marquez, handoff to Fritzler, running right, backs to the 41. Check that, the 39. After starting off to his right behind his right tackle. 3rd down and a long 1 to go. Give Fritzler 4 yards. Well, I like these play designs. I mean, they're working so far.
Yeah. You get 3-4 yards a crack. I mean, that's positive yardage for them. So.
Well, the quarter started with a 2nd and 12 at their own 18.
Yep.
On 3rd down and 1 from the 40. In motion is Aguirre. Marquez by himself to his right. Nothing. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, 4th and 1. Fort Morgan, I would think, would go for it, even though they're on their own side of the field.
Oh, that was Fritzler from the...
It was.
Wildcat.
Wildcat, yep.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. 4th and 1.
And I think down by 14, I agree with them. It is 4-down territory, you know.
Well, let's see if they go straight to Fritzler, but it's not going to be easy to pick up this yard. At the 40-yard line on 4th and 1. Marquez will keep it himself, running to his right. 1st down to the 45. Well, that maybe should have been the play they ran the last time, but I think they decided with the 3rd and 1, let's try something different, and if we don't get it, we'll run that play.
Right.
And they picked up the 1st down, and Marquez now with 3 carries for 8 yards. Nice hole on the right side.
Yeah.
Back to the pistol formation on 1st down and 10 from the 45-yard line. And now they're chewing up some clock here. This drive started late in the opening quarter. Low snap, the ball's on the ground. Marquez picks it up deep along the left side. Johnson's out there. It's incomplete at the 23-yard line. Johnson could have maybe sold a pass interference, but he kept going, and it was defended over there by Sean Jones, but that was a very catchable ball.
Yeah, he didn't quite get enough air underneath, and Johnson had to slow down. The defender caught up with him.
Yeah, I think if Johnson almost stopped, let the defender slam into you, but that was certainly not pass interference. That's a good defensive play.
Yep.
2nd down and 10 from the 45-yard line, down to 8:11 to go, 2nd quarter. Northfield leads Fort Morgan 14-0. on a couple of touchdown runs, one by Richardson, the other by Joyce Fairley. There's the handoff up the middle and dragged to the ground for a loss of 1 is Ben Fritzer. A tremendous penetration there by Miller.
Yeah, he was getting hit almost right as he got the ball handed to him, and you can't make any yards that way.
Well, you're looking at it now, 7 carries for 12 yards for Ben Fritzer. The Mustangs right now have 40 yards of offense. Northfield with a heck of a lot more. Remember last week, even though Fort Morgan lost, they had 400 yards of offense.
Yeah. But they're short David Keller this week, too, so that's going to make a difference.
Huge. 3rd and 11 from the 44. Naked backfield, and I believe a Mustang moved. I didn't see encroachment there.
No, it came from they call him the back judge right behind the defensive line.
Umpire. Yeah.
Yep.
And now I know what Brian means. That wind's starting to swirl in here into the press box.
Nobody shut the window?
No, I just might have to pull out the sweater and then proclaim that I joined Brian in that club. 3rd down and 16 to go for the 39. Again, naked backfield. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right, with a man on the inside slot for the Mustangs. I wonder if this is an audible, the way Marquez was ranging up to the line. Back to throw, deep drop. Are they setting up a screen? He'll step up in the pocket, throws off his back foot, wide open, incomplete. Oh, behind the defense was Lopez at the 36-yard line. I think Marquez thought he was going to keep going, and he didn't. So there was miscommunication there. If you're Lopez, just keep going. Marquez has the arm, but he kind of stood there like a center fielder, which you don't want to do because then the defenders will eventually catch up, and Fort Morgan has to punt. But that's a huge blown opportunity by Fort Morgan.
Yeah,
they had a great drive going, and then the last 3 plays just kind of did nothing.
That's a gorgeous spiraling punt, backing up and fielding it at the 14-yard line, running to his right to the 20. There's a seam to the outside by Richardson at the 30, and it looked like there was a block in the back or a hold, but no whistle, no penalty flag. A return to the 38, a return of about 14 yards. What did you see there, Brian?
Well, I thought he tackled him. I thought he tackled the defender. That's what I was looking at, but no flag was thrown. So
nearly midway through quarter number 2. Northfield has the ball at their own 38-yard line. Another extensive halftime show that hopefully we'll get to here before noon. Mustangs will play Lutheran a week from last night, I guess, 6 nights from today. It'll be at Fort Morgan Legion Field, 7 o'clock kickoff. Lutheran's already won the league title. 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Mustangs need a stop to keep this at 14-0. From the gun, handoff right up the gut, and an excellent tackle there on Manning. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Colin Duckworth made the play.
Maybe it's the defense that's going to have to change that momentum, get a turnover or make a great stop, and get the ball back.
Well, Duckworth is maybe your best tackler out there besides Aguirre. On 2nd down and 10 for the 38. Man in motion to the left. That is Richardson. He's got the pitch. A seam to the 40. He's going to go to the 40-yard line of Fort Morgan. Along the right sideline. It's going to be a touchdown. 62 yards. And the 2nd touchdown of the game for Richardson. He made one big cut. And it's 20-0 Nighthawks.
yeah, they get that kick-out block out there, and he just cuts it back, and he's gone.
Is this game going to go to a running clock? I mean, this is a possibility the way it's going right now. Alex Gerson to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Caden Montoya. Snap is off target, but the kick is not. 6:02 to go before the break. Northfield 21. Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 62-yard run by Marion Richardson. 2nd touchdown of the game. It's 21-0 in favor of Northfield.
pitch that to him out there, and he just kind of finds his hole up there. They get that kick out block out to the outside, and 2 or 3 blocks out there, and he just cuts it back to the middle, and he's gone.
Now here we go with Gerson to kick it off, and we know what type of leg he's got. I don't know if the wind played a factor at all. This will be a pooch along the sideline on the Fort Morgan side. Bounces to the 30-yard line and picked up right there, and whoever picked it up is getting mauled. Wow. See a number there?
27, Isaiah Ortiz.
Yeah, well, he did a nice job of fielding it on one hop.
It's interesting. That's the fourth different style of kick that he's been able to do. Quite a talented kicker.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 31-yard line. 5:58 to go, second quarter. Northfield with a 21-0 lead. 3 rushing touchdowns, and the last one was the longest one. They've got some athletes on this Nighthawk team. Fritzler, the lone setback from the pistol formation. Marquez turns, hands it off to Fritzler. He's got no running room, and he dives back to the 30, losing half a yard. 2nd down, and we'll call it a long 10 to go. Peyton Butler, a senior defensive end at 5'10", 160, made the play.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding the blocking scheme because towards the end of that play, you had 2 offensive linemen down there blocking the safeties. You know, you think you'd want to block the defensive linemen and linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, you block second level, your first level is going to make the play. 2nd down and 11, naked backfield, trips to the left. Marquez back to throw, looking left, heaves it deep along the left side. It is incomplete. Johnson went up for the catch at the 46, got him right in the hands, but defended over there by Cardell Collins, only a freshman. 3rd and 11. I think Marquez, outside of the interception, I mean, there's a couple in there could be questioned. He's made some pretty decent throws. Of course, the one that kills him is the one to Lopez, but I think the receiver's got to run deeper on that particular play.
Right.
Yes, Marquez's numbers are not looking good so far, but again, it's not all on the quarterback. He has completed just 3 of 12 for 27 yards and an interception. 3rd down, 11 to go for the 30-yard line. Man in motion to the left, resetting is Aguirre. Marquez, and now there's a flag down. That's going to be against Fort Morgan. Is that a false start? Yeah, they wouldn't call it. If it was a motion penalty, the play would not be allowed to ensue. That will be a false start. Now a 3rd and 16. I mean, the only one they picked up that was a long and a tough situation was that 2nd and 12 to begin the second quarter, and that was by far their best drive, but they're on the verge of punting again. The problem is they're facing a ground game that every time they get the ball, and they're just 200 yards, well, just shy of 200 yards rushing on offense. 3rd down and 16. Marquez pumps, looks deep along the left side. The pass is going to be incomplete. And in fact, Lopez, who was the intended receiver at the 47, had no chance because it was Joyce Fairley who went up and almost tried to tip it down. Almost like he was pulling down a rebound.
Yeah, that's a long pass for anybody trying to go cross field like that, and a freshman doing it. He's just not the upper body right now to be able to do that. He's just not being able to lead him downfield.
Perfect snap to Redding. It's off another pretty good punt. End over and bounces at the 42. Takes a huge Fort Morgan roll, and that will be down to the 24, maybe the 23. Continues to roll, 23-yard line, and now we have a flag down. That punt would go for 52 yards, but let's see what happens.
Well, Bosworth was claiming that something had happened to him. He got thrown to the ground. I thought it was just a nice aggressive block by the covering team, but maybe it was unnecessary sportsmanship or unnecessary roughness because no one was picking up the ball. I don't know. It'd be hard to tell.
Well, yeah, there's no reason to even block. I mean, if your return man's not going to pick up the ball, it is an unnecessary block. But let's see what the signal is. It's a block in the back against Northfield. Well, again, totaling the yardage for them on the ground. Let's see, going to a quick count here. They've got exactly 200 yards rushing. 123 from Richardson, and then the other 6 have totaled 77. And how many passes have they attempted?
I think just one.
I've got none here.
Well, that's because he had to scramble and got tackled scrambling.
Right. So, yeah, it was the intention to pass. It never did.
Yeah, you're right. No pass plays.
1st and 10 for the 14-yard line. Up 21-0 with 4:56 to go in the opening half. From the gun, Richardson in motion to the left. There's the misdirection, running right to the 20-yard line and then driven down along the sideline beautifully. Is that Yanez who made the play?
Yep.
And that ball went to Mike Doss. But even at that, that's a nice play design by Northfield. A gain of close to 7.
Yeah, Fort Morgan has to respect the outside game. And
there's going to be the pitch left to Richardson. Watch out for him. He's got the sideline to the 25. Then he's going to be dragged down, but it's a first down. Gain of about 9 to the 30. That's 7 carries for 132 yards for the 5'9", 150-pound senior, listed as a wide receiver, but not today. In fact, if they're going to give him the 31, which would be a gain of 10, they will.
Yeah, that place that they do, I mean, the running back's already got a head of steam going when he finally turns upfield.
Yeah, that's why they run that play. Now Love's going to throw, rolling out to his right. Sets, throws deep along the right side. That's going to be incomplete by about 10 yards. Great job defending by Yanez, and the intended receiver for Northfield was Zach Ryan. Yeah, they're just trying to loosen up the defense here, but that had no chance of being completed. In fact, that's a spot there that if you look off your primary receiver, you might. I don't know if you have anybody else open, but there's no way you're completing that pass. But then again, I didn't see another receiver even in the area.
No, because he ran over to this way and he was looking at him the whole way. But they can go ahead and do that. Their running game is so good that that's not going to.
So are you saying that 11 is Yanez?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think it's Dahl. I don't think it's Dahl.
Okay.
I don't believe it is. I think that's been incorrect to the roster. 2nd down and 10, and there's a quarterback keeper. The Mustangs have Love bottled up, but he's got a yard. Let's see, the tackle was made over there by, is that Vasquez, who might have made the play? A gain of 1. 3rd down and 9. Yeah, I think we haven't had the correction of the roster. I'll have to check that,
right.
But it's not Dahl.
Okay.
I think that a miscommunication. I don't think Love got the handoff like he was wanting to and ended up having to eat the ball.
Yeah, Elvin Yanez is number 11, so that is correct. 3rd down and 9 from the 31. Low snap. Love throws underneath. Oh, nearly picked off. Broken up at the 35 by Charlie Langford, intended for Ryan. And Northfield will punt, I believe, for the first time in the game with 3:29 to go. 2nd quarter, leading Fort Morgan 21-0. Great defensive sequence by the Mustangs, and that's what they have to get them to do to pass.
Right.
Yeah, and there's no need for them to pass. I think they were just trying something just to see what would happen.
Yeah, you're right. Gerson to punt.
Because there's no need for them to pass. Not with that running attack.
Well, you receive the second half kickoff. If you can score before halftime, the problem is Fort Morgan going to be able to stop their running game?
Yeah.
And Northfield in a mess. They had personnel shifting in and out. They've got to call a timeout.
Haven't had to punt and didn't know who was supposed to be out there.
Exactly.
That's right.
This first half brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Your one-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get up off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Keep in mind we'll be with the Wiggins Tigers as the 1A playoffs begin next weekend. We'll have all those games on 1010 KSIR with Wiggins. What a nice victory last night, defeating Ray 28-14, and I don't think the game was that close. Or they were up 22-0 at halftime.
Yeah, good victory for our Western Morgan County school. The only one that's going to make it into the playoffs, looks like, this year.
Yeah, that's a definite. So Gerson standing at his own 19 now backpedals to the 18-yard line. Mustangs with a couple of return men, including Charlie Langford. Perfect snap, light rush, end over end. This ball is going to be caught by Langford on the run at the 37, then goes down at the 44-yard line. That's not an easy play for Langford to make, but if he doesn't make that catch, that ball could have rolled an additional 10 or 15 yards. So he took a chance and it paid off.
Yeah, he didn't get much of a return, but he ended up saving the team a lot of yards.
Plenty of time to go, 3:21 to go. In the second, it's 21-0 Northfield. The Mustangs have it 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, see if they can at least sustain a drive here and eat the clock up.
Well, their longest running play is 5 yards. That's an issue. From the 44, Marquez, low snap, looks to throw, flushed. He's going to take off with the football, and he's going to get to the 45 and knocked into the bench of the Northfield Nighthawks. Might have gotten to the 46 for a gain of 2. They'll spot the football momentarily, so at least he made something out of nothing. 2nd down and 8 to go for Fort Morgan. 4th carry for Marquez.
He's able to stop the clock, which will help them get downfield if they can sustain the drive.
On 2nd and 8 from the 46-yard line. Nobody in that backfield. Trips to the right, coming in a blitz. Marquez rolls out to his right. He's got enough blocking. Stops. Throws off his back foot. Complete at the 41. And still on his feet. And a 1st down along the sideline. That looks like Chase Redding. And a gain to about the 35-yard line. Let's see where that ball spotted. Yep, it's going to be a gain of 17 yards or 18 yards for a 1st down. Takes them a while to spot it, but that's a well-constructed play for Fort Morgan.
Nice job by Redding to come back to the ball.
2:50 and counting. Trips to the left. 1st and 10 for the 34-yard line of Northfield. Marquez takes it himself. Jitterbugs, and he's going to be taken down for a loss. Well, the problem there is that he started straight and ran to his left. Once you make that decision, you can't get into a position where you want to avoid contact. As soon as you want to avoid contact, you're going to be tackled.
Right.
And that was the case there. It's a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah. Had a lot of momentum going, and then that kind of puts them behind the sticks, but let's see how they react.
Well, they have plenty of time here. From the 35, JJ to throw. Pressure coming backside. There's a holding penalty, no doubt. He's going to be flushed. He'll take off, then he'll be back down at the line of scrimmage. Is that another late flag?
No, it's a face mask because he was spun around by his helmet.
Well, that'll be offsetting penalties if that's the case. Yeah, that'll restart the play at 2nd down and 11 if we have a hold against Fort Morgan and a face mask against Northfield as they sort this out.
I know he wants to try to get downfield and use his legs, but he's got to learn to get rid of that ball and not take the beating that he's getting.
Yeah. Okay, there's the hold. And then the face mask.
Offset.
Oh, really? Why is that offsetting? It wasn't offsetting in a playoff game at Roosevelt.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago. Remember that?
Yep.
I mean, I still can't believe it. All those officials from that game should have been reprimanded. 2nd down and 11 from the 35-yard line. As they replay it, snap bounces in. There's the handoff to Fritzer running left, and he's tackled from behind. Back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle was made by Peyton Butler, and that play was messed up because of a poor snap. Ben Fritzer, 9 carries for 11 yards. That's the story of the running game today for Fort Morgan. 3rd down and 11 to go from the 35. They've got 2 plays to pick this up. 1:22 to go in the 2nd quarter, trailing 21-0. Rolling out to his right is Marquez on 3rd down. Pressure backside, throws. The pass is incomplete. And no receiver within 4 or 5 yards of that play.
Yeah, it was thrown about 5 feet over the head of 23.
Angel Lopez.
That was probably the intended receiver.
Yeah, he's just not on, and Lopez has been getting open. He's been open a number of times, but that's hard to get that ball down when you're running for your life out there.
They've got an interesting defense. No one's down, and they got
there was encroachment there. That'll be a 4th down and 6 instead of 4th and 11. They did cross the line of scrimmage. And I don't know why you do that if you're Northfield. You've got a 21-0 lead. You've held this offense in check pretty much. 4th and 11 is a heck of a lot tougher than 4th and 6. Now Fort Morgan can open up the playbook because you'd have to go downfield with a 4th and 11. 4th and 6, you can throw something not completely underneath, but a little slant to pick up a 1st down. Clock is stopped, 73 seconds to go, first half. 21-0 in favor of Northfield. On 4th and 6 from the 30 with a naked backfield, trips to the right. Realigning is Aguirre. Off to Marquez's left. Back to throw. Sets. Steps up in the pocket. He hit as he throws. It's going to be incomplete. A diving attempt at the 24 as the ball fluttered out there.
And it looked like he was looking downfield, like maybe he was waiting for something to develop for a touchdown or something. And I don't know. With 4th and 6, you got to get 6 yards.
The flight of the ball was altered as he was hit hard as he was releasing. But at that point, you want to maybe step up a little bit more. But, hey, J.J. did everything he could do in that situation to try to at least get it to the intended receiver, who I believe might have been Langford out there.
Yeah, I was talking more about the design of the play rather than his execution. It looked like it was designed to go downfield, and really needed to be 7 yards downfield.
Right, no. I hear you.
And we've seen that some this year, where they just need 5 or 6 yards and they go for the home run ball, so...
And now Fort Morgan calls a timeout. They're on defense with 1:07 to go. Yeah, Kevin, the one thing I don't know, how do you properly develop a freshman quarterback? Because there's a big difference to me when you're just coming off, and he wasn't a quarterback for a guy. That's what David Marquez's father told me. He really wasn't a quarterback. He's been converted into a quarterback, right, and he's only a freshman at the varsity level. So, and it's not just on that one player. It's scheme, as you mentioned, design, execution. There's so many components that go into it and quite frankly, it's talent.
Yeah.
It's talent around you, and that's not saying anything negative about the talent around J.J. Marquez, because he does have some talent, but it's not talent right now that's going to produce consistently. We know that already. If not, the numbers would be better on offense, but they were very good last week.
Yeah, I think overall, if you look at the season and you look at Marquez as, even if he had been a quarterback all the way through middle school as a freshman quarterback, he's doing remarkably well.
Oh, yeah.
I think the issue here is that, whatever scheme you want to run, you have to run a scheme that works with the talent that you have.
Without a doubt. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Northfield. Love looking to throw. Steps up. He's getting pressured. Flush to his right. Throws off his back foot along the sideline. Complete. A 1st down at the 42. It was kind of underthrown there to Zach Ryan. But an excellent completion. Nice job of coming back to the football. And the gain is 26 yards to the 44, and Northfield quickly calls a timeout.
They're looking to put another one up on the board, but Love was pressured. Redding was in there, but just could not quite get to him before he threw the ball.
Well, the coverage was not bad downfield, but you underthrow it, very similar to the Conifer game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the defender really has no recourse because the receiver has the advantage.
That's true. And, he just had faith in his receiver and threw it up in the area, and the receiver made a great play to get to it.
Just past the top of the hour, 12:01 in the Mountain Time Zone. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan. Northfield with a 21-0 lead at the 44. Fort Morgan, 53 seconds to go before halftime. Richardson's in motion to the left. There's the handoff from the misdirection and a huge hole to Joyce Fairley to the 30. He's got a seam and tackle from behind at the 23 by Oscar Ramirez, but it's a gain of 21 for Joyce Fairley and another 1st down. The clock stops for the movement of the chains, and the Mustangs were thrown off on that counter play. 42 seconds to go, and the clock is now running as they reset the chains. I believe they've only got one timeout remaining. And now they're letting precious time. They do have an excellent field goal kicker. We know that. And Alex Gerson, man, way too much time has come off the clock. That clock management is questionable. From the 23, Richardson in motion, looking to throw his love. Steps, throws over the middle. The pass is caught underneath. And they're going to have to call a timeout. That's Ryan again. It's a gain of 10, a first down to the 13, but only 10 seconds to go. There's the timeout. Well, you can run one play into the end zone, and then you have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, they had a first down at the 23, run up there and clock it, stop the play, stop the clock and get another play in. Right?
Yeah,
I don't understand why they're, when you call the timeout out here to get that play set up, and then you don't stop it again. So,
right, and that's one of the things where you want to be able to not have to call a timeout because your punt team doesn't know who they are early in the game.
Right.
So wouldn't it be nice to have an extra timeout here?
Yeah.
So all those little mistakes add up and end up costing your team points.
But that's where, as a coach, what Brian just said, clock it. It would have been 40 seconds to go. They didn't snap that ball till 21 seconds to go. That you could have run an extra 2 plays minimum during that time. That just benefits Fort Morgan.
But you may not have that play in your arsenal. I mean, I don't know that every single team.
Clocking it has to be in every arsenal. I mean, just clocking it.
Yeah, you would think.
especially by this time of the season.
Right, yeah, 1st and 10 for the 13. Man in motion, back to throw, Love pumps, throws into the end zone. It's going to be picked off at the 1-yard line, along the left sideline to the 15, now to the 20, and that is going to be Elvin Yanez who picks off the pass that was intended for Cameron Joyce Fairley. A big defensive play for the Mustangs, and both quarterbacks have now thrown an interception, and that is the end of the opening half. With the score, Northfield 21, Fort Morgan Mustangs nothing. We'll take a 1-minute break, a short break, and we'll come back here on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's get to the second half. The Fort Morgan Mustangs trailing the Northfield Nighthawks at All City Stadium in Denver 21-0. Fort Morgan will receive it. Brian, I think it goes back to what you said in the second quarter. Just go on a sustained drive. They had one of those, but it kind of faltered late in the drive.
Yeah, they gotta get a sustained drive here. Keep the ball away from this Northfield group. They can attack pretty quickly, but just to get some positive yardage here and get a positive mental attitude going here, they just need to keep control of the ball.
Alex Gerson to kick it off, and he booms that football high and deep and into the back of the end zone. Kevin, I watch kickoffs like that. That's a next-level kicker.
Yeah, I think he's got potential to go play football somewhere. You know, if not D1, definitely get his college paid for. Because you're right, with that kind of leg, and then we've seen him kick off several different ways. The onside kick and placing it at just about 15 yards down, and then the little pooch.
Well, a junior, 5'8", 146, strong leg for not a big player. 1st and 10 for the 20. In motion to the left, Marquez. Back to throw, pressure coming. He throws off his back foot, incomplete. I don't know if there was anybody in there, but he had to get rid of it because there was a defender, Jack Easterly, right on top of him. 2nd down and 10, and Easterly's been all over the field on the defensive side.
Yeah, they never threw a flag. I didn't think there was a receiver in the area, but that's fine with me.
J.J. Marquez in the first half was 4 out of 15 for 45 yards and a pick. 2nd down and 10 at the 20. And again, under a lot of pressure in this game. Naked backfield, 2 receivers split each side. Marquez with a 3-step drop, steps, throws towards the sideline, caught underneath. That's going to be a very short gain to the 22. Is that Aguirre?
I thought it was Angel Lopez, or was it Aguirre?
No, it is Angel Lopez. Yeah. But a very, very short gain. It's a long throw laterally. And 3rd down and 8 yards to go. First reception by Lopez in the game. Yeah, you're going to have to throw it straight up the field. But that was the play. And what happens there, you're relying on your receiver to free themselves from the defender for extra yardage. Didn't happen.
Yep.
On 3rd and 8 from the 22-yard line. 2 receivers split each side. Back to throw is Marquez looking. Slant is caught underneath at the 24. That's a first down to the 30. And getting loose along the left side is Langford at the 50 into Northfield territory at the 25. And Langford is thrown down out of bounds. That looked like a late hit, but it's a first down and a huge gain for the Mustangs. A gain of 60.
Looked like a horse collar.
That's exactly what I thought.
Mean, you can't grab him by the back of the shoulder pad and bring him down, even though he didn't drag him straight down. He pulled him to the side. Well, that's a good play for the Mustangs.
Yep,
let's get it in and score.
First reception, they backtrack it to the 18, so 59 yards. But nonetheless, that's a well-designed play. And again, what did they do? Underneath.
Yep.
Underneath. And it was designed enough so you had the defenders not really even that close to Langford. All he had to do was find a seam along the left side. At the 18-yard line, Marquez to throw, play action over the middle. The pass is caught, touchdown. Touchdown for Johnson, 18 yards out, and the Mustangs are on the board. It's Northfield 21, Fort Morgan 6, 33 seconds into the third quarter.
Well, I liked what I saw on that drive, that's for sure.
Right.
And now the extra point. Is that the right numbers? Yep, there you go. There's the extra point to be attempted here by Marquez, even though he's got a different number. That's up and good. 11:27 to go. Third quarter. Northfield 21, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs go on an 80-yard drive, and they needed just 4 plays. The big one, a 59-yarder to Charlie Langford, an 18-yard pass from Marquez to Kayshawn Johnson. And it's now 21-7. You get a stop here, and then you get the ball back, and let's see what happens in the second half. That certainly was a drive reminiscent of a team that had 400 yards of offense a week ago. But in the first half, they were held in check. Already 79 yards passing in the third quarter for Marquez in just over 30 seconds. Now that ball's booted high and deep, and it's fielded by Richardson at the 3. Straight ahead to the 15. Yep. It's got the right sideline and a block to the 25. Richardson with 2 to beat along the sideline. Cuts it back to the 50. Richardson with daylight to the 40. With Marquez to beat at the 20. Richardson to the 10. Touchdown. 97 yards for Richardson. His third touchdown of the game. And Northfield leads 27-7. Kevin, what did you say during the break?
I wouldn't kick it to number 1.
And that is number 1.
Yep.
They had him bottled up along the sideline, and if Marquez could have had a little bit more mustard, it would have gone into the end zone.
Or even a little bit farther to the left. He wouldn't have been able to get to that, but great athletes make great plays.
Yep, and just took the momentum right out of there. Took the wind right out of their sails. 2
touchdowns in 49 seconds, and the extra point by Alex Gerson is up and good. 11-11 remaining third quarter. Northfield 28, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. If you had the over in the third quarter, you're looking good, although there's nothing of that nature here at a high school level. But 14 points have been scored in 49 seconds, or really 14 in 16 seconds, because the Mustangs just scored a touchdown. Then it was followed by a 97-yard kickoff return from Richardson. And now Gerson to kick it off, and he'll boot that one into the end zone. I mean, he's booting these 69, 70 yards easily.
Yeah.
What a leg.
Well, he was.
Yeah, and that's almost into the wind a little bit. The wind's kind of a crosswind, but a little bit up into his face, and he still put it and landed it on the back edge of the end zone.
What a weapon.
Yeah.
What a weapon.
He was practicing field goals there at intermission there, and he was kicking it 50 yards and making it. So,
first and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 20-yard line. having some trouble with their first play here. Now they're up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the pistol, will this be a handoff to Fritzler to get the running game going? It will. Off to the right side, across the 20. He spins to the 25. And he is brought down at the 26, a gain of 6. And that is the longest run by Ben Fritzler, who in the first half had 9 carries for 11 yards.
Yeah, there's just nothing there but youth.
Second down and 4 to go from the 26-yard line. Northfield with a 28-7 lead. Man in motion on the jet sweep, and then the ball is bobbled. It's loose, and Northfield's got it at the 25-yard line. It was like a hot potato.
Yeah, Angel Lopez just couldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he ever got it. Looked like he got it cleanly, but for some reason, I think he tried to secure that football into his chest, almost like readjust the football, and he just dropped it. Northfield recovers at the Fort Morgan 25, second turnover of the game by the Mustangs.
And he looks like he's getting maybe some medical attention. He's holding his hand like maybe that might have happened trying to recover the fumble.
Yeah, it didn't happen. You're right. You're right, Kevin. That happened post-fumble. First and 10 for Northfield at the Fort Morgan 25-yard line, leading by 3 scores and looking for their biggest lead of the game. Richardson in motion. There's the handoff and running up the middle and getting swallowed up at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Oscar Ramirez.
As Ramirez made the play on Ryan Manning. Manning with his 5th carry for 21 yards, second down and 10. Yeah, you throw in these other guys just to loosen it up for Richardson.
Yeah.
No, Richardson by himself's got like 250 yards of offense when you count the 97-yard kickoff return. Second down and 10 for the 25. There's the pitch left to Richardson. Cuts it to the inside, back to the outside of the 20. Nobody's going to get him at the 10, but he's out of bounds. And he ran out of bounds at the 9. A gain of 16 yards. First and goal. Northfield. 149 yards on the ground on just 8 carries. And you know what? He glides.
Yeah.
It's just it's easy.
Yep.
It's easy.
Yeah, he sees that cut back and
at the 9. There's the give on the right side. Manning with a hole. Manning to the end zone as the end touchdown. 9 yards out for Ryan Manning. 4 rushing touchdowns in the game for Northfield. 34-7 with 9:45 to go in the third.
yeah, just too easy. With just that young defense.
A short field.
Yep.
Short
It's hard, hard when you have to come out, on your first defensive play, and they only have to go 25 yards.
Yep.
And they did it on 3 plays. The extra point here from Alex Gerson, looking to go 5 for 5. And it is blocked. Is that Langford coming through?
Yep.
Man, like a 747 off to the left side, and he blocked it. 9:45 to go, third quarter. It's Northfield 34, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 34-7, a 9-yard touchdown run from Ryan Manning off the Fort Morgan turnover. Their second of the game, a fumble by Angel Lopez, and now Gerson to kick it off. Everything's gone into the end zone recently for Gerson. He had the onside kick early, then the pooch. But I think that pooch was actually stopped by a penalty. And this one, is he going to get 70 yards? He's always gone 69. That is fielded. No, now the ball's bobbled at the 2-yard line after it went into the end zone, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know what the...
Yeah, high school football, the ball goes into the end zone. Even if it comes out, it's an automatic touchback.
Well, I didn't see the referee make any motion or anything over there like a touchback or anything. He just stood there.
Yep.
So the Mustangs have it at their own 20-yard line. Their first drive went for 80 yards. Their second drive went to Northfield as it was coughed up.
Well, let's build towards getting some consistency, and every play these kids get a chance, it's going to help build for next year too.
Well, they have double the offense they did, Kevin, in the opening half because of the limited running game, and JJ got going with a passing game on that first drive. There's the snap and the handoff, and on the right side, a decent gain to Ben Fritzler to the 24. 2nd down and 6 to go, freshman to freshman. Fritzler, 11 yards at halftime, now has 21, so that he's almost doubled that.
Freshman to freshman and cousin to cousin.
That's right. Yep. On 2nd down and 6 yards to go from the 24-yard line. Right up to the line of scrimmage from the pistol. J.J. Marquez hands it off. Nope, takes it himself. He's got a seam left side to the 30. And there's a flag down. That'll be a hold. He's out of bounds, but Chase Redding was holding at the 32. Out of bounds at around the 41. That's going to nullify a nice gain by J.J. Marquez. It would have been close to 20 yards.
Yeah, Redding got here on the edge out here. He was
he didn't like it. He thought, hey, that's a clean block, but that's not what they're going to call. Now, we'll give Marquez some yardage because the holding was downfield. So I think Fort Morgan's only going to lose about a yard or two.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing there for Chase was that he was just, trying to help his running back, but JJ was already past him. The hold was unnecessary.
Well, it was 2nd and 6 before the play. It's 2nd and 6 now. So he give Marquez 10 yards. He does have 10 yards because the holding was downfield, but the down obviously does not change. At the 24, 8:48 to go, third quarter. Northfield 34, Fort Morgan 7. Ryan Richardson's been the story of the game with 3 touchdowns. Low snap. Marquez back to throw. Deep drop. Deep along the left side. That's going to be incomplete. A leaping attempt by Charlie Langford at the 48-yard line, but well defended. Not a bad throw, but it was a tad overthrown. And again, you're throwing basically into double coverage because the safety was out there for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, they're not getting any separation, but by the time the ball gets there, they're right on them. And I don't know where that sun is. They may be looking right back up into that sun trying to see that ball.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
That's a good point. So 3rd and 6 from the 24. A snail's pace to this third quarter, which has seen 21 points. Marquez flushed out to his right. Still rolling. Now stops. He might have to take off with a football, and he's going to be ushered out of bounds. And he was pushed out of bounds pretty hard at the 25. And this goes back to what, Brian, I believe what you said. At some point, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Even those pushes are tough. It's a gain of 2, 4th and 4.
Yeah, because he's hitting the ground every time he gets pushed out there. And, that takes a toll on your body. You just got to make it easier on yourself. Get rid of the ball, stop the clock, and go on to the next play.
Well, that, Kevin's what we were talking about earlier with the development of the quarterback. But the quarterback also has to, make those decisions by himself, I would think. As this punt is a gorgeous end-over-end spiraling punt, not end-over-end, fielded at the 30 by Richardson. Works out of a tackle at the 35, along the left sideline to the 50. Richardson is down at the 48. This guy makes something out of nothing, and a lot of it. 22-yard return. But isn't that what a freshman learned? At some point, they have to say, you know what? It's not quitting. It's just conceding a certain play. Instead of continuing to run and roll and say there's nothing there, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I think, it would help him to watch some, obviously we're not expecting him to play like a professional quarterback, but to watch a lot of plays where, what do they do when they get in trouble? They're looking to just get rid of the ball, play for another get down rather than get themselves hurt or make a turnover.
1st and 10 for Northfield at the 47-yard line. Fort Morgan. They lead 34-7. Man in motion, and there on the misdirection, running right to the 45 is Joyce Fairley. Upended at the 42. Gain of about 5. Lopez was right there. Joyce Fairley's got a touchdown in this game. That's Cameron Joyce Fairley. And he's got 40 yards rushing on 6 carries, part of this incredible ground game that has been displayed by Northfield today.
Richardson sitting on the bench, just biding his time, watching the good game going by.
2nd and 5. Pitch right to Joyce Fairley. He's got a seam along the right sideline. First down to the 37 for a gain of 5. The Mustang tackler was Elvin Yanez. But they have so much depth.
Yeah.
So much depth. And maybe they want to speed up the game here by just keeping it on the ground, because all this, in terms of passing, has really slowed the game down. And there's the handoff to Manning off the left side. He's got some yardage across the 35 to the 31. Gain of close to 6.
Yeah, they're just running at will.
Yeah. Well, they're just keeping it simple, too. I don't know if you call it smash mouth, because it's typical smash mouth, you run it up the middle or off tackle.
Yeah.
But it's 2nd down and 4 at the 31. This will be a misdirection, bobbled momentarily, and a first down by Wiley to the 25 for a gain of 6. 4, 5, 6 yards. They're making it look rather easy. 4 carries for 29 yards for Wiley. And who's checking back into the game?
Mr. Richardson.
At the 25.
He had his little break. He's ready to go back again.
I don't know if his feet hit the ground. He's lined up as a wing to the right here on 1st and 10 from the 25. Now he's in motion to the left. This will be a handoff and nothing doing. Back to that might be Wiley again. But he was spun to the ground. Check that. No. That's going to be Connor Reese.
Chase Redding on the tackle.
Yeah, nice defense by the Mustangs. Down to 6:10 to go. Third quarter. Northfield 34, Fort Morgan 7. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. Live from All City Stadium. On 2nd down, and they'll call it 11 from the 26. Back to throw is Love. Sets. Steps up. Throws. Complete. That's a first down at about the 14-yard line. A gain of 12. Zach Ryan with his 3rd reception.
Yeah, Love has kind of a unconventional release. It's almost a little bit of a sidearm there, but he's a gunslinger and seems to have a lot of success looking at his his passing from the past part of the season.
That was his first pass, and throwing a pick at the end of the opening half from the 14. There's the counter. Reese cuts it back to the middle to the 10-yard line, and then the Mustangs converge on him, and he squeezed out another yard to the 9. Chase Redding was one of 2 Mustangs, 3 Mustangs in on the play. 2nd down and 5. Now they'll call it the 10, so it's a 2nd down and 4. No, it's the 9. There's the pitch to Richardson. Can he beat it to the outside? He cannot. The Mustangs are there. Oh, no, he breaks out of a tackle. Now he's going to reverse his field, and then he's down. Oh, no, his knee was down at the 15.
Yeah,
his knee was down. Chase Redding was able to bring him down, but is that a flag along the sideline? Which,
I think it could have been face mask on him where he had his hand up in the face of Langford.
Yep, we'll find out. Yeah, Richardson is coming out of the game. And Marcus Wiley's checking back in. We'll see. Still no indication. It will be a face mask against Fort Morgan instead. Anyway, this third quarter is brought to you by Better Electric, covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better does matter. Better Electric, 970-521-1030. So it's at the 10 because the penalty took place at the 15. And it's a 5-yard face mask.
So 5-yard face mask is a spot foul.
So 2nd down and 6 at the 10. With a running back to the right of Love out of the gun. There's the handoff on the right side of the Mustang defense there to meet him. That might be Reese again for a loss of a yard. Let's see. No, that's Manning. That's Manning instead. For a loss of 1. 3rd down and 5 to go. Let's see, 3rd and 6 to go at the 11.
Yep.
4:08 to go in the third quarter. Northfield leads by 27. In motion to the left is Wiley. Love to throw. Sets up a screen over the middle. Wide open at the 10 to the 5 along the right sideline. Touchdown. That is Manning. There was no Mustang there. He was wide open. It was too easy. 11 yards out. Northfield 40, Fort Morgan 7. Manning's second touchdown of the game, the first receiving.
Yeah, as a coach, that's got to be really satisfying to make a call and just have it completely fool the defense, and your receiver can basically walk into the end zone.
Well, it's like he slipped out of the backfield and nobody saw him. Gerson to attempt the extra point. Charlie Langford blocked the last one, but not this one. 3:57 remaining in quarter number 3. And the score from All City Stadium, Northfield 41, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A bevy of points scored in this quarter. 3 touchdowns by Northfield, 1 by Fort Morgan. It's 41-7. An 11-yard screen pass from Christian Love to Ryan Manning. And the ball has fallen off the tee. Alex Gerson hasn't spotted it at the kicker. It really doesn't make a difference. He could probably, even off the tee, he could squib it into the end zone. This kid's got an incredible leg. A great leg. And again, he's only 5'8", 146, but he can really kick that football. High, end over end, into the end zone. You can't take it out. Kayshawn wants to go 102 yards, but you can't take it out.
No. The referee he finally waved it. It was a touchback, but he just, I'll do it when I feel like it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Don't rush me.
That would be described as cavalier. Speaking of Cavaliers, is my buddy Alex Rodriguez watching that Miami-Virginia game. Miami's had a bad season. Let's see if Miami's trailing again. Oh, what a game that is. 3-3 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, wake me up. 1st and 10 at the 20. That's like the Broncos. Low-scoring, boring football. From the pistol, J.J. Marquez has the football. Is going to hand it a deep handoff to Fritzler running left. Not much running room, but slips out of a tackle across the 25 towards the 27. The nice play for the Mustangs. 2nd down and about 3 to go.
Yeah, once Fritzler broke through that line there, he had a little bit of room there, so he did a nice job. He's going to be a good player for the Mustangs in the future.
Well, he's got 3 carries for 17 yards in the second half after 9 for 11 in the first half.
Yeah, I think getting this end of the season a little extra playing time is going to help him get that experience, and that'll help him next year.
On 2nd down and 3 to go from the 27-yard line with 2 receivers split both sides. Man in motion is Bosworth, and the inside handoff, and crushed in the backfield was Fritzler. Holy mahungus, what a hit by Connor Reese. In fact, he almost took the handoff himself, and it's a loss of 3. And thank goodness Fritzler's okay, because he was hit flush in the backfield.
Yeah, he was in there quickly.
To say the least. 3rd and 6 from the 24. Talk about reading a play. It's almost like he was in the huddle.
Right.
On 3rd and 6, let's see what the Mustangs can pull off here with 2.5 to go in the third. Marquez is going to roll out to his right. No pressure. Plenty of time. Now it collapses. Throws along the sideline. Incomplete. That's a good throw at the 45-yard line. I thought it hit Redding's hands.
Yeah, it hit him in the hands, but he was kind of adjusting.
Yeah, he did.
Awkward.
Yeah. It'll be 4th down. And Fort Morgan will punt.
Yeah, I don't know if it was deflected a little bit by that guy in front of him or not. It was hard to tell. But
yeah.
Once again, looking back right into that sun, but it wasn't a high pass, so that was more of a line drive type of pass. But
well, JJ in this half is 3 out of 6 for 79 yards, but with 2:24 to go in the third quarter, if Northfield scores again, this game would go to a running clock. Redding to punt at his own 10-yard line. Richardson back to receive. That is a fluttering punt, bounces at the 49-yard line of Fort Morgan, takes a Mustang roll, and it's out of bounds. And then, now we have a late hit against Fort Morgan there. I think Connor Reese went down. Aguirre put him to the ground, it looked like. after the play, so this might be 15 against Fort Morgan, but I'm sure if that was no, I'm sure he's thinking that's in retaliation for something else. So they're going to have to spot this football into Fort Morgan territory, I would think, just based on what we just saw at the very end of the play.
Yeah.
And now we have another flag go up. I'm not sure why the second flag. Are we going to have 30 yards in penalties against Fort Morgan?
I know Coach Davies is out on the field. I don't know if it's because of that or not, but he's not.
Yeah, this might be. It's either offsetting or it's 2 against Fort Morgan. It's not going to be 2 against Northfield. We know that. Personal foul on both sides. There's that call. That offsetting. All right.
Okay, that's what the other one was for.
All right. So that's what it was. Offsetting. I get that for the personal fouls. Yeah, Aguirre and Connor Reese were getting into it. So that ball will be near midfield for Northfield, up 41-7 with 2:14 remaining in the third quarter. And the football, wow, they're placing it at the 43. That's about right. Yeah, it went out of bounds right there.
And I don't know if it was a planned punt just to keep it away from Richardson, or
it was a good one, 33-yard punt, no return.
Yep,
better than a 62-yard kickoff and a 97-yard return.
Right.
You know, which we saw when Richardson took it back to the house. Richardson, the story of this game, he's got 2 rushing touchdowns and that kickoff return from the 43. There's the handoff on the misdirection, running right for a yard. Let's see who that is. Is that
Doss?
Yep, Mike Doss. That's only his 3rd carry for 17 yards. 2nd down and 9. Yeah, you know Northfield wants to take it to Fort Morgan on this drive. This was a 21-0 game at halftime. Then the Mustangs all of a sudden 21-7 off that 18-yard touchdown pass from Marquez to Johnson. 2nd and 9. Love will roll out to his right. He'll throw along the sideline. Incomplete. Not even close for Zach Ryan, the intended receiver. He had a step on Langford, but that was way overthrown. 3rd down.
Yeah, they did this earlier where they, they can run whenever they want, but they want to throw a few pass plays in, I guess, to give them a little practice.
3rd down and 9 to go at the 44-yard line. That's Dawson motion. Has the pitch right. Looking for a block. He's got the sideline to the 50. 1st down, and then he's knocked out of bounds in Fort Morgan territory. A gain of close to 10. Let's see what the spot indicates. It's a gain of 9 to the 47, so he barely got the 1st down, but doesn't matter by how much. 92 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for Northfield at the Fort Morgan 47-yard line, up by 34. Out of the gun, man in motion to the left. Inside handoff, stutter stepping to the 45, and then dragging a defender to the 41 for a gain of 6. Another fresh ball carrier, and that is Teddy Matthew. Yeah, they're just throwing them all in there at this point.
And he made a really great move there. It looked like he was going to run into a pile, and he just stopped for a second and then kept going and let the defender past him, and he ended up getting all that yards on his own.
That was a very nice juke. On 2nd and 4 from the 41. This will be a pitch left. 1st down to the 40, or nope, not quite. Across the 40 to the 38. That's Terry Cox, a junior. But it looks like he's maybe a yard short, a gain of 3 for Cox.
Yeah, 5'6", 160-pound running back.
This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. With 27 seconds to go, you think it'd be a running play. They would stop the clock momentarily. There's the snap. There's Cox. He dives to the yard marker. Should be enough for a 1st down, a gain of 1. They'll stop the clock momentarily, so they might be able to run an additional play, but I'm not sure why they would do that. And there it is at the 37, but they're back up to the line of scrimmage, so they might run another play before this quarter expires. 10 seconds to go. Yeah, they got plenty of time. There's the snap to Love. Rolling out to his right. The pass underneath incomplete to Ryan along the sideline. He's made 2 really errant throws to Ryan. He was looking a lot better earlier with the passing game. 2nd down and 10. 5 seconds to go in a marathonish third quarter.
Yeah, when he was getting the getting the ball close to his receivers, I mean, they have real good hands.
Right, both of those plays were just like a 10-yard out, and that's a hard ball to throw.
At the 37, man in motion is Cox. There's the inside handoff on the counter. There's Doss stutter stepping to the 35, and he's tackled at the 33-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll set up a 3rd down and 6. That's the end of the third quarter. From All City Stadium in Denver, it's Northfield 41, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We head to the fourth quarter from All City Stadium in Denver. Northfield leads Fort Morgan 41-7. It's 2nd down and 6 for Northfield at the Fort Morgan 33-yard line, looking for the running clock with a 40-point lead if they score here. There's the pitch left. The ball is bobbled. Cox picked it right back up off the bounce, and he gets to the 36-yard line, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage from the previous play at the 37. 3rd down and 10, a loss of 4.
Brings up 4th down.
No, it was third. It was a 3rd down. Excuse me. That's right. They had the incomplete pass to Ryan. Oh, here we go. Well, this will be fun. A 54-yard field goal attempt. This would not get it to a running clock.
And no wind.
54-yard field goal attempt for Alex Gerson. Off the hold of Montoya. Near that left hash mark. There's the snap. The kick is blocked. The ball is loose. It's going to be picked up by Montoya himself, and he's going to be tackled. And that might have been Langford again that blocked it. The Mustangs have good field position. Yeah. Boy, tremendous play. And you do have to kick it a little bit low initially, but I think a Mustang just came through unblocked.
Yeah, and the snap was bobbled a little bit, so I think he had to stutter step, and I don't think he had a chance of making it at that point because it wasn't all perfect.
Fort Morgan has had 2 games go to running clock, one to their benefit against Lincoln, the other was against Roosevelt. Roosevelt is yet to lose this year, so they have it at the 44-yard line of Northfield. Nearly 1 minute into the fourth quarter. Be nice to score one more time. If you're the Mustangs. 1st and 10. Marquez turns and hands it off, and a nice hold of the 40. Here's Fritzler spinning at the 35, still on his feet, breaking tackles, piggybacking defenders inside the 30 to the 28. 16 yards and a 1st down for Ben Fritzler and the Mustangs.
Yeah, nice job there by Ben. Once he kind of pinballing around in there and spinning and getting him some nice yardage.
He's got 5 carries for 30 yards in this half, 14 for 41 in the game. On 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. That could have set up a passing situation right here. Marquez barking out signals. Fritzler to the right of the quarterback. Low snap, bobbled. He picks it up. Now rolls out to his right. He's got time, but now it's collapsing on him. Get rid of it. Why did he not get rid of it? Now he works out of it and runs along the sideline and tackled, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. The clock continues to roll. He never got out of bounds. 2nd down and 10. It's amazing he got back to the line of scrimmage, but why not get rid of that football?
Right. Yeah. Stop the clock and keep yourself from the risk of injury and all that hard work just to break even.
You know, you said watching some film on that and learning that kind of thing, but I think that's got to come from coaching too. Somebody over there has got to tell him, when you get over to that, get rid of the ball. Don't get hit.
You're right.
Go on to the next play.
You're right, but that's not happening. We saw that last week against Holy Family, second to last play. Got drilled.
Yeah.
And throw that away. Don't take that shot. 2nd down and 10 from the 28. Marquez with a handoff to Fritzler, stutter stepping to the 25. He runs hard and close to a 1st down inside the 20. He's right at the stick at the 18-yard line. 10 more yards for Ben Fritzler. And he's doing a great job in the second half. 6 carries for 40 yards in the half.
Yeah, he's running a lot smarter. His vision's getting better as the game goes along.
from the 18-yard line. Northfield with a 41-7 lead, but Fort Morgan does not want to get this to a running clock. They want to compete with a full 48 minutes of football. Two receivers split out to the left, one to the right. Marquez, play action, rolls out to his right, gets a block, get rid of it. He does, and it's caught along the sideline for a short gain to Redding. A flag goes flying. It might have been defensive holding at around the 6-yard line. It'd be a gain of 5. But they're going to nullify that play if that's against Northfield. They'll just take the penalty.
Yeah, we'll see what there. Yeah, there was somebody else downfield there, Aguirre maybe, that was out in the pass pattern.
Oh, we'll find out. Guys, this game's out of hand already in terms of the score. Let's get the penalty determined. It's against Northfield. We know that now.
Yeah. Tell us. Show us.
That's it. Yeah, it's defensive holding. First down. It should be at the 6.5. It looks closer to the 6 to me, but they'll say the 7. Yeah, go. One more score would be nice if you're a Fort Morgan Mustang fan. First and goal from the 7.
Yeah, let's see if we can get it punched in here in the next 2 or 3 plays.
All right, up to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers split out to the left. Fritzer's run the ball very well. Play action. Marquez, flush, steps up, sacked. That time, I don't know if he could get rid of the ball because he was being harassed pretty quickly into the play, back to the 12 or 13-yard line. A loss of 6, second down and goal.
Yeah, nothing opened up, and he just didn't have the time to do anything with that. They've been running the ball pretty successfully.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do it there, especially at least 7 yards away. Might try it right now on second and goal from the 13-yard line. This will be a handoff to Fritzer, running right back to the middle. He's inside the 10 to the original line of scrimmage at the 7. Third down and goal from the 7-yard line. And Ben Fritzer has been a big story in this second half. 7 carries for 46 yards. He's got 57 yards in the game.
He looks like he's running with a little more determination than he was earlier.
2 plays to muster 7 yards to get their second touchdown of the game. Naked backfield. Fritzer lined up as a receiver to the right. Marquez looks to his left. Slant, caught. Is that a touchdown or at the 1? Johnson at the 1 on the slant is taken down for a gain of 6. It'll be 4th and goal. And obviously Fort Morgan will go for it. Nice play was made right there. There's the give and a hit in the backfield. That's a loss of 2 or 3 yards there. And Fritzer had no chance. 0 chance. As soon as he grabbed the ball, he was taken down by Easterly and one other Nighthawk, and the Mustangs turn it over on downs with 6:49 to go in the game, trailing 41-7. It's at, well, they'll spot it at the 1.5 yard line.
Well, that's where I wish that they would have their...
Well, you don't have a fullback in there.
Well, they don't have a fullback,
Right.
but go under center. They don't do that in this. But I'm not the coach. I'm not running this football
but
team.
they haven't gone under
sure,
center in the last time. I'm with you.
But I just don't. It's
Yeah. There's certain plays where there's an advantage to going under center, and you have to be able to do it.
Yeah, like a quarterback sneak.
yeah.
If you don't have a fullback, a quarterback sneak. But that's not part of their offense. Well, we have a backup quarterback in there now for Northfield. Well, the Mustangs might be able to do something defensively.
No, same quarterback.
The same guy, the handoff running right, and tough to tell who's got the ball. But a gain of
Looks like
2 or
11.
3 yards.
Fairly.
Yeah, Cameron Joyce Fairley's got a touchdown in the game. They'll give him a couple.
Definitely leaving their starters out at this point. as far as running backs.
On 2nd down and 8 to go from their own 4-yard line. There's the pitch left, and the ball is bobbled in the end zone. The Mustangs, I believe, have fallen on it for a touchdown. That should be a touchdown for Fort Morgan. It is. It is a touchdown, and the touchdown from Jackson Wiedrich. He fell on the football, and the Mustangs are back on the board. It's 41-13.
And we'll take him any way we can get him. Nice job by the defense on that one to get that touchdown.
And it was a pretty good pitch, but wasn't taken in. And now Brandon Marquez to attempt the extra point here for Fort Morgan. And the kick is up and good. 6:13 to go in the game from All City Stadium. It is Northfield 41, Fort Morgan 14 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Jackson Wiedrich falls on the ball in the end zone on a miscue by Northfield. Mustangs back on the board again. They trail 41-14. Midway through quarter number 4. And Brandon Marquez will be kicking it off. And what will they do with this kickoff? I mean, you're better off. What's more of an option? A better option, squibbing it or onside kicking it?
I think anything that gets it back to number 1 is not
right.
the option.
Yeah, you don't want it to Richardson. No. You try to. I would just onside it, hard onside, which wouldn't be a squib, but let's see what they decide, because he doesn't have the leg strength to get it into the end zone. This is a little pooch, fielded at the 35-yard line and then tackled at about the 42. Good field position.
Yep.
So, question for you: you're gonna kick it 20 yards and give them the ball at the 40. Why not kick it 10 yards and try and get the onside kick? At least you have a
you're
chance.
right. You're right, because the difference right now is only a matter of 7 or 8 yards.
Yep.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Give yourself a chance at it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, the only answer to that was what happened last week. They tried the onside kick. It took a perfect bounce, and they went 65 yards for a touchdown. But I don't know if they were necessarily thinking about that.
Right.
So Christian Love is back in there, so is Richardson. Well, I mean, why not have the starters out there? It's not like it's a 50-point game. It's only a 27-point game. It's well in hand for Northfield. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. The Mustangs are going to drop the 3 and 6 low snap. Hand off to Richardson, running left. He jitterbugs across the 50 to the 49 for a gain of 8. Johnson made the tackle. 2nd down and a long 2 to go. Richardson now has 157 yards on only 9 carries. We'll have a quick post-game show coming up here from All City Stadium. We'll start wrapping it up probably in the next few minutes. At the 49, Love out of the gun. We'll hand it off on the counter to Fairley. He's tackled for a loss of 1. Tremendous move there defensively, right at the line of scrimmage.
Victor Villalobos.
Yep. It's an excellent play by Villalobos. 3rd down and 3 to go for Northfield. Under 5 minutes to go in the game. 41-14 Nighthawks. And Villalobos just made a great play, but he was offsides by about 5 yards.
Yep.
So it's 1st down. Yeah, he really jumped the gun there.
Yeah, and it wasn't like they changed their cadence at all. They hadn't even gone into motion yet.
Yeah. 1st and 10 off the penalty at the Fort Morgan 45-yard line. Joyce Fairley in motion. The pitch right to Cameron Joyce Fairley. He's got the sideline of the 40 out of a tackle to the 36. Then he's driven back Just short of a first down, a gain of 9. Why are they stopping the clock? Is there a penalty flag down? No, because the one official, that's not a first down.
No.
Yeah, why? You need 10 yards for a first down, Mr. Official.
Yeah, you got to be past that second marker.
Second down and 1 to go. Joyce Fairley in motion again. There's the handoff, stutter stepping Richardson. He's got a first down. He takes a pounding at the 33. Duckworth was one of the 3 Mustangs to make a nice hit on Richardson, who now has 160 yards on 10 carries. Clock will restart with 4:20 to go in the game. Northfield making a couple of personnel moves. And they're going to chew up as much clock as they can. This will be their last possession, you would think, as we're under 4 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 at the 33. Love is going to roll to his left. He'll lob it underneath. It's caught by Ryan along the sideline inside the 20. It's a first down at the 17, a gain of 16. Defended by Charlie Langford.
Yeah, got behind him. Nice, pretty pass. Floated right over the top of Langford, right into his hands.
That's the 5th completion for Christian Love at the 17. And unfortunately, unlike high school, unlike college and the pros, the clock stops when it goes out of bounds. It does not restart. On 1st down and 10 from the 17. There's Love with a handoff to Joyce Fairley, running right to the 15, has the sideline to the 10. He's at the 5, he dives, he's got a first down, but not a touchdown. He's at the 4-yard line, I believe, is where he was tackled for a gain of 13 yards for Cameron Joyce Fairley. He's starting to pile up some yardage. 68 yards and 11 carries. We keep this in the middle. You're just stopping the clock the whole time. There's Love keeping it himself. He's going to be taken down for a loss. Oh, man. Langford read it initially, and then Wiedrich and Redding were able to make the play for a loss of 5 to the 9.
Yeah, that's some good defense there. They had a lot of penetration, and Love didn't have anything to do with it.
And the clock is running. I mean, at least
You're
get the clock running.
You're acting like you have a Greek wedding to get to or something.
Yeah, I got to go somewhere. 2nd down and goal. Love rolling left, throwing underneath. Passes caught by Ryan. Makes a move. Touchdown. Oh, an excellent move. He made it the 2-yard line. It's a 9-yard touchdown pass from Love to Zach Ryan. And Northfield is back up 47-14.
Yeah, that maybe the defender out there was going to be able to knock that down, but he stopped, came back to it, and then made that little turn. And
5 catches for 7. Well, just by stopping.
Yep.
Gerson to attempt the extra point. And Charlie Langford was way across.
He's had 2 blocks. He was after his 3rd.
Yeah, he's been great. But he anticipated too early there. Now the extra point by Alex Gerson is nearly blocked again off the upright. Off the right upright. He saw Langford coming, and I think it changed the course of his kick. 3:07 to go in the game. It's Northfield 47, Fort Morgan 14 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 9-yard touchdown pass from Christian Love to Zach Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Ryan Manning caught one from 11 yards out, and it's now 47-14. And again, we're going to wrap this game up as soon as it gets to triple zeros, because Kevin has somewhere to go. And John. All right. I wasn't going to throw you under the bus, Kevin. It's just
At least not the bus that Brian's driving.
Right, exactly.
I don't
Good
wanna
point. Good point. High and deep. This will be returned at the 2-yard line. Here's Langford, stutter stepping to the 15. Langford to the 20, showing some speed to the 30, along the right sideline to the 40-yard line, and then he's pushed out of bounds. Oh, that should almost be late. Come on. I mean, he was pushed out of bounds when he was out of bounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that should have been a penalty there. But you know how that would have been a penalty? Charlie sold it by going down.
Right.
But he stayed upright, and when you stay upright, because it hurts less to stay upright than it does to go to the ground, that's the way you sell the penalty. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Fort Morgan down 47-14. Awaiting the snap from the pistol.
Delay a game.
Yeah. And that doesn't stop the clock. That doesn't even get the clock going because it's a fresh possession.
Yeah, you're not really delaying much.
It'll be 1st and 15 here for Fort Morgan at their own 43-yard line. Wait, what happened here? The delay of game on the deep? I didn't see encroachment. Oh, illegal substitution.
Oh.
First down and 5 yards to go. Marquez hands it off to Fritzler. Runs behind a blocker. First down inside the 45 to the 42. A gain of about 6. Ben Fritzler, 52 yards and a half, 63 in the game.
Yeah, he's looked a lot better this second half.
Not sure why he's not winding the clock after that first down.
Yeah, that took a while. They are winding it, but you're right. That stayed stuck for a while. At the 42-yard line, low snap, handoff to Fritzler. A big seam to the 40. Fritzler close to a first down, but he's down at the 34 for a gain of 8. I mean, there is some blocking, but he's doing a heck of a job.
Yep.
That was his 18th carry of the game. His number's going to look a heck of a lot better in the end.
I think they've got some younger players in there for
Yeah.
Northfield. I think that's maybe part of his success.
18 carries for 71 yards for Ben Fritzler. Now we are under 2 minutes to go in the game. Northfield 47, Fort Morgan 14. On 2nd down and 2, Marquez, play action, looks to throw. Pressure backside, hit as he throws. It's going to be a jump ball. It's intercepted. Intercepted at the 9-yard line, along the right sideline to the 30. A big seam and tackle for behind at the 43-yard line. Off the pick is Deshaun Lockett.
Marquez is a little gimpy coming back off the field. Hopefully he'll be able to play next week.
He got hit about the time he threw it.
Yeah, that was a dangerous throw.
Yeah.
Second interception of the game. Now Northfield has a couple of options here. They can just run plays up the middle or take a knee. Up 47-14. We'll run through the scoring here momentarily. Let's see, JJ in this game. Just looking at yardage. I mean, a lot better in the second half, obviously, especially off that one drive. JJ is going to end up with 130 yards passing. High snap, handoff up the middle. That's a decent gain of about 4 yards to the 48-yard line. That's Matthew. But way too many rushing yards. They'll give him 5. 2nd down and 5, down to 1:18 to go. And now they're going to go into victory formation. Why the stoppage? Guys, we don't need stoppages anymore.
There we go.
Thank you. No more stoppages. I mean, 2 running backs alone went for 228 yards. Richardson, 10 carries for 160. And then you had Cameron Joyce Fairley, 11 for 68. And then when you combine the other yardage, nearly 300 yards of offense. As for Christian Love, a couple of touchdown passes. He threw for 84 yards in a game, so less than 400 yards of offense. And the Mustangs actually are not going to look too bad here. At least statistically, over 200 yards of offense, 130 yards passing from Marquez, 71 on the ground from Fritzler. JJ did have, 21 yards of offense on the ground, and that's it. As Northfield defeats Fort Morgan 47-14, the Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Make sure the nutrients you purchase for your field are getting to your crops. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water with Advanced Agri Solutions. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. It was the Richardson show. 9-yard touchdown followed by Joyce's Fairley's 14-yard touchdown, and then Richardson went for 62 to make it 21-0 at halftime. Mustangs got on the board first drive of the third quarter. An 80-yard drive, an 18-yard touchdown pass from Marquez to Johnson made it 21-7, but then Richardson returned the ensuing kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown, and it was 28-7. And then you had the screen pass from 11 yards from Love to Manning as they extended the lead to 34-7. And then they would score, obviously, 2 more touchdowns. Manning with a 9-yard run, and then Love with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Zach Ryan. Mustangs did get a fumble recovery in the end zone from Jackson Wiedrich, but that was it. The Mustangs dropped to 2-2 in league play, 3-6 overall, and Northfield is now 5-4 on the season. And Brian, at least they did something in the second half. They were, at least offensively, defending the running game was too tough. Richardson's just too good.
Yeah, he's probably the best running back we've seen this year. But they did lots of nice positive things in that second half. They didn't just roll over and give up. So it was a nice second half, a lot better than what the first half was.
Kevin, you have Lutheran next week, and I think one of the goals against that team is just to lay it all on the line and stay as healthy as you can, because obviously Fort Morgan is not going into the playoffs, but you talked about some of those younger players getting valuable playing time. When you're facing a top-notch team like that, that'll be something to build on for next year, just with the competition they face on Friday night.
Right, I think Lutheran's going to bring their A game. They've got a little bit to, nothing to prove, as they're obviously going to the playoffs and winning the league. But, they've got to have a little bitter feeling in the fact that Fort Morgan kept them from achieving their dreams last year. But for us, it's going to be figuring out a way for our youth to have some success and not just be overwhelmed by the powerful Lutheran offense.
Final score once again from All City Stadium in Denver for Brian Nichol and Kevin Rohde. I'm John Beltran. Northfield defeats Fort Morgan 47-14 right here on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.